Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Crossfire to what happened in Abuja, the sunny side. Right now, it's time to get into some hard facts. I'll be here up until 7 o'clock and hand over to the football frenzy to ensure that you are glued. Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja is Itodo. And we'll start off the show with Roundtable, going through some of the big stories in the rounds in Nigeria today. We'll do that till 40 and move on to other conversations. 6 o'clock, it'll be time for your eyewitness report situation updates to ensure you're taking the environment. It's fun how some people just go around the city, walk around the sea, and, you know, things change around them and they have. So today is a good day to observe and take note. Little things, little changes around us. At 6 o'clock, we'll get into that conversation. But right now, hard facts. The Roundtable is live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. To follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to click the link. That helps you get notified when it is that we are live. We're streaming live, okay? My guests today, our guest, Nsikak Fyneface. He's a public analyst. And Salisu Abdulahi is a lawyer and editor at Page 36. Welcome. How's Nigeria treating you? That's an option. I really want to know what is happening. So if you want to, you know,
let me treating us, like personally.
You've got different experiences, a different view. We're all on different sides. So let's know how.
I mean, Nigeria is treating me great at the moment, personally.
You're the lucky one.
It's not bad.
Okay.
You know, at least life, I feel healthy. Yeah, I can pay my bills, you know. We're adjusting while we're still hoping. What here is like hope.
Yes, hope is good. It's really important. And Nsikak, how's it going?
Well, it's been good on the side as well, but I'm just worried about the roads as well. I mean, you can't really find cars on the road. It's sure that maybe some cars are parked on. So I'm much more worried about the man out there. I mean, those who can't be with their family. I think it's tough. It's tough.
Is your phone on DND? And your DND on silent?
Of course.
Because people do that these days because you're overwhelmed by the constant quest they keep getting from family, friends, and even strangers. You would see an old you've spoken to in a very long time randomly call you up, which is not bad. It'd be great if they're calling to check in on you. The request comes through, not just getting requests, which just seem as though, you know, out of sorts somewhat.
I like what you see to have your mind at, you know, but lately, I'm not feeling bad for the poor, you know, because I feel like when you comment, because sometimes we people that go out there, that the people that request for great things, people, we call out our leaders, but you get the feedback and like, okay, like, we fight for better lives for you. Why are you fighting us back? You know, some people don't want you to hold the leaders to account for anything. You know, we tell you like leave them, let them work. So in my mind, I'm like, are Nigerians really suffering? Because if you're really suffering and you need better life, I feel that there's a demeanor you will have. There's a disposition you will have that people will know. You fine, there are a lot of people out there that cannot drive, you know, that cannot go. The roads are really empty. But the people that decide, the people that vote in this country, most of the poor people, so to say, for lack of better, you know, some of them do like they're okay based on the comment I see online on news platforms.
No, but you judge everybody in that bed based on the comments you see online. Full of these not even have smartphones. Might not have smartphones to be comment online. I mean, their worry right now is how to feed daily and not comment left on Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform that they're seeing all of these items. But yes, I get your point. The concept, they really know what they want, and they're honest.
To tackle you on that one, though.
You're not tackling me.
I went through for the past 8 years. To be honest, sorry to bring in politics and political parties into this. You know, we Nigerians cry for 8 years, and some of them decided that, oh, we're going to bear this. Then the next dispensation, we're going to get it right. I expect a situation, you know, I'm not a member of any party because APC was the ruling party. I expected a situation for a people that they have suffered for 8 years. I expect to see anybody at any APC rally country. To be honest.
Yeah, but some of those rallies, the truth is some of you see they are being hired, no matter what it. That's
the key, if they call you bounce.
No, you
okay, so that's besides the point right now. Let's get to the business of the day. So for the next 4 years, we gradually inching towards knowing who our ministers will be, but then we're waiting and hoping that by the time we get to know what their portfolios are. Because for now, we're not sure who's going over what. But so far, the Senate to confirm 45 of 8 nominees. I guess streaming like, oh, that's a lot of people. Yeah, it is, but what can you do about it? So 7 days of screening. The Senate has confirmed 45 of the 48 nominees presented by President Tinubu. Now, those who were denied mention yesterday over security report or pending security check, immediate past governor of Kaduna, Malam Nasser El-Rufai, deputy governor of Taraba State, Senator Abubakar Danladi, and Stella Tete from Delta State. The trio had petitions against their nominations. Specifically, Senate President Godswill Akpabio did not clear them because of the security report. Must be cleared. However, this confirmed immediate past governor of Haiti and Wike, the deputy majority leader of the Senate, former governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, former minister of State, Labor and Employment, Keyamo. We'll get to that. Lateef Fagbemi, and a handful of others, as well as Mr. Dele Alake, as designate. So let's get your initial thoughts on the process, right? Some have done that it did not go as they envisioned or as Nigerians were promised. So some representatives of the Senate, some lawmakers come out to say it was going to be thorough. It was to ensure that they grilled and asked relevant questions to attain if indeed those who were nominated would be able to handle the country or whatever portfolio, saying that no portfolio were handed to them to help us understand. They had like basic understanding of the piece or done their research and all of that. I also saw a bit of mild drama played with the Kano State nominee switched last minute. She had already to give her 100 in terms of screening exercise, and she's told, you've been switched with someone else who happens someone she knows, which, funny. But then it also brings the question, does the president really know one-on-one all of these things who were nominated? Did he maybe have conversation with them, sort of an interview, to stand where their head is at, what they for the country are, before he went on to push that list out? Because these persons were nominated from the depending on who is in charge of doing those names. So all of these questions have been brought in. And if that last minute, which I would say was embarrassing, was made in the way it was made without really alerting her in good time, goes to show that maybe, just maybe, not every list is personally by the president, who all of them will be with once they are handed their folio. So let's get your initial thoughts on the process and all of the questions that have been raised.
Well, like I said before on this platform, the process has been quite disappointing. Yeah, because if you consider the caliber with the people that have been nominated, some of them have green issues of corruption. There are questions they may need to answer. But seeing how things played out, I mean, last week we had the former governor of Kaduna, El-Rufai. I mean, a senator representing Kogi West, Karimi's son, raised a very strong issue about the former governor that has on insecurity and things like that. And then the president had to stop El-Rufai from answering that question.
No, but he gave his reasons for doing that.
I know, but this is a screening process. It means that once you're there, look, people, right, senators have the right to throw questions. As long as, it's part of the law and all that. I feel the screening process lived up to expectation. And then what played out last week as well, when a particular nominee was already at the Senate, and then she got report, the name had been removed. Now, nomination, you see, is based on another nomination from someone. There's someone actually, submits names to the necessary people. So someone whose major job is they'll tell you nominate maybe two. Then so it's all about interest. But then the question is, at this point in time in our nation, I think we should focus on interest. It should be building Nigeria. Look, if you look at our nation today, nothing basically working. Sincere. So people should be focused. Their focus should be all about building that will be able to tackle the issues we have: insecurity, unemployment, poverty rate. I mean, how do you explain that you have Nigerians living in IDP camps in Nigeria as well? I think it's so there are certain issues that need urgent attention. Look at in our petroleum sector as well. How much is fuel to 617 naira? These are critical issues that we should look at. So if you're bringing people together to in different in your cabinet, be about people who think about the interest of Nigeria and Nigerians. But from what we I would say that about personal interest. So the scene that played out with the lady that was, I think it's an embarrassment, and it goes to show certain people are not in charge. So we need to know what exactly is happening, because for me it shows no one. I mean, there seem to be a whole and all that. So for me, the process has not lived up to expectation. I think the only time we saw a senator come out to really quote particular nominee was yesterday, when certain questions, certain issues were about
yeah.
So that was what Nigerians expected. But so far, it's just been not about you leave, you come in, take a bow. No, but we don't want that. We want people that will be held responsible to make progress as a nation.
Now, let's get to you. How must the president, all of these persons who have been confirmed, 45 of them, are able to live up to expectation, able to tap into his dream and goals for Nigeria? Because these are people that I usually have a personal relationship with. So they're offering ideas on what they want to do and how they work across all ministries. But once they receive this portfolio, what are we that if XYZ doesn't deliver, there is a backup plan as to not waiting to leave out the whole time, and then that ministry suffers from that person's lack of hard work, as the case may be.
So what I was hoping, these one reason, and I was in support of a particular candidate. Expected to see new faces. I expected thorough research for candidates that can handle certain sectors based on their history of professionalism in the difference they worked on before. We didn't. We're seeing the normal compensation, so to say, list. We're seeing faces that we've seen since 1999 government. Very disappointing, but I try to look further to see why is this like this? What does the law say concerning appointing a minister, confirming a minister by this and all that? The Constitution just says that for you to be a minister, qualified to run for House of Reps. That's the law. That's the ground norm. Then the Constitution does not say how the Senate should come. The candidates, the ministerial nominees, so what are the laws? Then I see going on. I'm like, how do I criticize this process? We do not have laws that stipulate how this process is supposed to go. You're supposed to pick this particular candidate. So I feel like if we really want to see this issue, we have to go legally. We need to go through.
But they are stating that there must be one from each.
That's just what it says. I'm not even speaking on the character part, because that one just says one from each. Like one pick a Dundee from somewhere.
Okay,
as long as it's somebody from. That's saying, we need clarity laws for who is qualified to be a minister, even detail the clarity as to who should head a particular ministry. Then right now we have these names. Let's even assume that you want to compensate your people that supported you. Fine. But still look people that are sound in certain areas. We had a case where we had a former education come out after he has finished for like 8 years, come to tell us that when he got, he did not understand anything about the education. He had to start asking people and doing research. So I expected, as a president come in, you've heard these things before. You should sort out and provide solutions to these bad things that have happened in the past. You was having a perfect government. Then you did the names of the ministerial nominees, portfolios attached. Then I'm looking at it, the Senate is screening, and you ask somebody to sing the national anthem. I'm like, how do I really even criticize the Senate when there's no law what you should do concerning this process?
All right.
They're just doing whatever they want to do.
You can join conversation right now. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. Nigeria in for Abuja live, and also drop your thoughts and your opinion, and ensure that you are not using any funny language. And you can also share your thoughts on the WhatsApp platform 080993017. Send them a WhatsApp message. Also include your name and your. We'll go on the break right now. When we come back, we'll get your thoughts and your reaction to the first story.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion on conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Fact. Join me and let's talk.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
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 This is Nigeria Info.
5 others. Let's get some reactions right now. You can call in 0700 100 08095974869. You can also WhatsApp number 080930137. Ensure that you move away from device when you call in. Switch device off. Give your name, your location, and we go straight to the point. Ruth John, Facebook, thank you so much for joining. Watching from Niger State. And Jeba High Juniors watching from Okene Igi State. I pray that the Senate will not be a rubber stamp. We have had a lot of moments in the assembly. Let's get to this. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah, my name is KJ from Gogolera.
Go ahead, Katie.
Yeah. Hey, I think the Senate, to some extent, the Senate president was overtaking the nominees. Because I did not see him allow the free opportunity to ask them. Now, when you are coming for interview, the panel should to interview you thoroughly. It's a drilling process. Ask questions to bring out your intel, your things that they need to know about you. But for me, I think the Senate president overprotecting them because, for instance, those of them are returned to the security. We understand before the list, this list must have gone to the security before it got. While returning it, if you are certain people are not fit, just let them. There's no need back and front. And like people like Yap, who have no respect, honorable this honor. I don't think he should have been given opportunity to. They should have just asked to go to other work. Because Mr. President, other people that can do this work.
All right,
Not
Katie.
to not respect our Senate at all. I'm disappointed that they clear him.
All right, Katie. Thank you for sharing thoughts. And going back to Facebook right now, more comments. Oludade Abiodun says, I disagree with your guess when one of them expect to see anybody at the APC. We cannot all sleep and face the same direction. I mean, opinions differ. So what you might see might not be what I see if other parties there are the same. And that's what Oludade is saying. On WhatsApp, it's 700-951-000. The WhatsApp number 8099930137. The major we have today is the docility of noise. If only they can deal with tribe, religion, and city and face the president, the politician. Kweli, the story today won't be the same. Papa Shunamite, Freedom Mangoro. And good afternoon. All right. I'd like to know from one of your analysts about what he has said. Is he insinuating that Nigerians experiencing suffering just from the past years? He said he doesn't want to be political. He sounded political with his comments. He had said suffering God was 8 years. I would have understood. People that are in these various parties are also Nigerians. Are the states governed by other parties better than the ones governed by the ruling? James Ahoa has questions for you right there. And Jay again or Indro from Lugbe's Ministerial nominations and screening processes as usual. We even thank God that, those who have passed away with this list is disappointing. May God is average and poor Nigerians. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Perfect, my Todo. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome.
My name is Abdulahi. I'm calling from Gogolera.
Before you go on, Obaka, can you carry from your device? I can get feedback. It's distracting. Thank you.
I hope now, yeah.
It's better. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. El-Rufai is a administrator excellence. is a good, is a great one. He's an achiever. His shortcomings is being controversial. He's disrespectful of other people's faith. He decides to be bigot, religious God. He goes beyond the God. If you,
Abubakar, hold on a second, so we get out of line with your thoughts. Quick, what exactly are you reacting to? And someone is a bigot. Don't you think that's a bit of in terms of throwing out there?
I fly from razor. When I
No. Hold on a second. When you throw this there, it forms an opinion for others.
I first wanted the good fellow before I criticize him. He's a achiever, I say. But he must reform himself. He must reduce his image. He must be Nigerian. Somebody respect all states, all jobs, then he'll go to go. Nobody wish him ill, but he should guide his utterances. Thank you.
Thank you. And Belasianovic from Maitamas, concerning the screening of the minister, seems like a reward system that misses and it ebbs away from the integrity and accountability. Technocrats and politics think differently because we are wired differently. Ministers are administrators, and the view of that accountability not be compromised. Security is also an economic threat. Elder Sam says, agree that the president only brought people we have seen since 1999. It's not fair. The president has brought some bases to the board, even young people 38, 30, 40, and 42 years. Don't let us predict their capacity and believe, but now they will do well. Elder Sam is saying. All right, do all the callbacks. Sorry, we call 0700 951 000. You can also WhatsApp number on 08093 Welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome.
My name is Comrade Salisu.
Go ahead, comrade.
My take of today, what I want to say about this development is for as a politician, I'm a politician, but I'm a former I run away. I'm young. I also control politics, but because of the current politicians in Nigeria, I step aside. Because when you are a politician, help people to develop the community, what they are doing is to share the money. Or when you play the role with them, they give you, playing the role, they are discriminating in the budget system of the country. So you have to say this thing, and even the achievement is not a good achievement. So now what I'm talking now is that now Nigeria used to grow like a politics, like America politics that they are developing. They are going outside to see what is going on in the outside, but they cannot do it.
All right.
Hello?
Go ahead, finish your thoughts.
Now, in Nigeria now, we're not development. When we say we are going to democracy, like of this, like Anul and this is before. Now, when you see the Nigeria now, the financial meetings are working in the country. Army is the one doing it. The final building the country is Army. All our refinery is Army. It's about road. Come on from Abuja to Lokoja, from the military, from they cannot complete it. There's no one plenty. And when I talk about now, all these ministers are coming. Most of them, they are not good. Some of them, they are good. They are good. Their mouth is not good.
All right, comrade.
What we are doing now is just to grow more than this. Let us do the thing.
All right, comrade. Good afternoon.
Thank you, my brother. Good afternoon, Mr. Salisu and Mr. I greet both of you. We have about the confirmation of Ministerial
Yes.
On this point, we that we are listening to many people, we don't have power to send it. But I want Mr. Salisu, you are a lawyer. Come on, Mr. Fyneface there, you are a journalist. Both of you are senior journalists. When you come up, many of you are in National Assembly. We saw the way you fought. Many of you are laughing. Where is the organization, civil liberty organization, media groups? Why did you people talk? Who come to the studio, begin blame the country? Doesn't mean you people who are not in this country. You saw when a father, all of the people here, when many of you are talking, in a matter of this small girl that say a father is a big. They told her to buy and go. This guy said he should buy and go. Senator Abu from Adamawa, from Kano. You people expect also, instead of you to say, sir, we have to ask you in front of camera. You people will not say so.
They will be holding this. Now, when these sessions are going, you know that they cannot be disrupted by people who are editors or lawmakers and in those, right? Yes. What's that?
The issue of on that small that young that say Musawa, father is a many of them, journalist was including the senator. Why can't they ask them when they go for the close meeting or when they go for the break? Why they allow this type of people to go? Now the Mr. Instant is talking of old faces in the my minute. We don't pick me. We don't pick Itodo. We don't. Is it not the same themselves? They will pick even that many of you believe me. It's the same thing. They will not come and speak for organization.
All right, they will be. All right.
So no, thank you, Dicky.
Thank you for calling in right there. He's worried about nothing. The Bow and Go situation as it was ongoing, and that's not even possible. That's something you can walk in there and just do by yourself.
That's suggested, yeah, because if you listen, I suggested that the constitution is not very clear on this process. We need to have laws that define who's going to be qualified to become a minister, then the screening as well. We need to learn these laws, so we can do them, so if we now include a system where media now has a where they can question even the ministerial nominees.
Or maybe sending questions,
exactly,
right? Okay.
So we can put those down in writing. If we don't have down in writing, anything would just be done. Is what we see right now.
But let's talk about federal real quick before we go into the next story, right? Yeah. Some message right here, I'd like to react to that. Where in the 1999 Constitution, the state minister must be appointed from each state, Nigeria and the FCT, by the president, specifies any particular number of or ministries. The Constitution applies for the adherence to federal principle, and the Constitution of the federal should not be titled for any particular region. Please.
That's still another problem. Yeah, but
if there's any like that, can you put section?
I don't know the particular one. Yeah, but it's definitely in the Constitution. It states that the president must adhere, because it gives the president so much power. It doesn't determine, it doesn't state who should. It just says that you must stick to the federal character, which is at least one person from each region, and what that means.
So each region,
well.
each now.
State.
Each state.
This
state of each state.
Each state.
Okay.
So that's 36 and 36, we're including the FCT. So the president still has the discretion based provision of the Constitution, which is very ambiguous. To appointing one, he can appoint from another particular state, So how the law is that he
48 that we got him
adhered to by appointing each, whatever he chooses to do afterwards is at his discretion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Get more thoughts from you. Sunday Kingsley right here says, I totally guess that ministers designated more of a compensation for the roles they played. Considering the socio-economic situation of the country, right, thought the choice of the president's minister, the silver bullet, needed to get the competent and capable minds to handle positions in question. Kingsley echoes thought from Rumi. Hello, Obaji Mel. Thank you so much for he's asking the question, where is the youth's place in administration? Well, we saw a couple of young people who were also nominated to be able to defend.
Section 147, Section 3 of the 1999.
Could you just spell it out?
Yeah, if I can. Yeah, it says constitutionally. Okay. So 147 subsection 3 requires the president to appoint at one minister from each state who shall be an indigene of such state. That's what it says, from each state.
All right. Ojeba High Jr. says, sorry that, okay, I took this message earlier. Let's get back to phone calls and move on to our next story. Welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Can you move away from your device? Feedback from you is distracting. Thank you. Go ahead.
I want to ask, why is it that we keep on repeating ministers?
I want to ask a question. What's your name?
My name is Michael. I said Michael.
Go ahead, Michael.
Asking this question, why are we keep on repeating the same people? El-Rufai has been a minister for years. He has been a governor for years. What are the chances of the young? What happened in this country? I'm surprised. Mr. Wike has been a minister for 8 years, a governor for 8 years. We are still repeating them. What is going on? What are the chances of the young? That's my question, though.
All right, Michael.
Please keep on doing the same thing.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Akin.
Go ahead, Akin.
I just want to ask a question. When it comes to letting a minister, if for example you are a Medu and you are the leader of a political Medu and they ask them to nominate a candidate for minister, they just go to market scale and pick anybody. No, it's not about it. It's not about the politics. So that member let you. In any case, if you look at the list, nobody can afford their certificate, can afford their capacity. Even the ex-government list, they are doing well in their respective things. So it's not about the issue is that when they are, the party leader will sit down and they either their son, their daughter, their wife. That's how this work. It's like that all over the world. Which was the president, the son was Clinton was a president, the wife could become president. Yeah, I know. So most times, some of this is just like that, and we have to accept it.
All right.
Move forward. Thank you.
All right, okay. Thank you for. Would it be weird to go to the market square and to say, "Oh, hey, who can represent us?" It won't be weird at all because I'm sure you can find some competent people if you were to go do that.
If you even listened to what I said earlier, I said even if it's a compensation list, I find the best person for a particular sector. You know, we had a list without portfolio. That's a problem on its own. They even tie the hands of the Senate in lines of questioning to nominee. You know, attack portfolio. So if we know you're going to, let's draw you on power. If you have solid minerals, draw you on solid minerals. You know, they can say, I heard a lot of people saying that, oh, they are very qualified. Are you judging what is it based on? How am I supposed to know this person? You might be sound one field, but I don't know what ministry they're into you to know that you're going to be.
We'll have to wait and see what folios are giving to them.
At that point in time, he's asking anybody any question anymore. Zoom office. It's too late.
Let's move on to our next right now has to do with the Federal Commission. The former commission officer admits taking bribe Indicts chairman in job racketeering situation. There was a memo on Monday when a former integrated payroll personal information system desk officer at the Federal Character Commission, Haruna, accused of collecting bribes, job seekers in exchange for employment, owned up to the allegation. Just as he admitted to having received over 5 million naira from desperate diggers on the instructions of chairman of the FCC. Not done, Kolo claimed that EC boss instructed him to transfer the money to his personal account in cash, which he did a couple of times in her house. Kolo made a revealing ongoing investigative hearing by the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigate federal ministries, departments, and agencies, statals and tertiary institutions, mismanagement of IPPs. The ex-IPPIS desk told the lawmakers that he resigned FCC on November 2nd, 2022, to join the Asset Corporation of Nigeria, but ended up getting released twice from the FCC. He added that the anomaly was reported to the human resource officer, who told him the issue will be addressed. Now, there's a bit of a back and forth that. Now, he continued the allegation of his employment at APCON was a result of her personal favor to him. There were 4 in number, and she gave appointment letters to himself, Khadija, and she gave out all the names of those who benefited that. But this accusation, and there's been constant complaints that, of course, the common man is not able to get a job in public service. You have to know someone. And then people have complained to pay for these things. And you're wondering, if it's much to pay for a job, you need a job. What does this say about the public service? And with committee interrogates right now, would we see any change to public service? Or would it just be one of those things that, and then we move on like nothing happened?
First of all, I want to state clear that this isn't new. Corruption is basically winning in Nigeria. I would say that the general who was alleged to have stolen 1.9 billion naira, 109 billion naira. And then where's the case today? It was swept under the carpet.
Maybe not yet. Let's not throw that case away because it's still ongoing. Yeah.
Well, but what I'm saying is...
So what you believe is if it's delayed, then it's not going as planned.
Of course, it will be swept on. Look, we had issues about the NDDC where certain questions were asked. That's what brought about the Oga off your mic issue. Mm-hmm. Some of those involved. Today, they are holding some very sensitive position in our nation today. So corruption keeps on winning every day. But now, according to the EFCC Act, according to Section 46 of the EFCC Act, the Act actually mandates the EFCC to combat financial and economic crimes, empower it to prevent, instigate, persecute, and penalize economic and financial crimes. How many people have persecuted so far? Since the establishment of the EFCC, how many politicians can you say, people that have committed crime, like financial crimes?
No, just because someone is accused of a crime doesn't mean that they are guilty of that crime. Look, so it's possible that they go to trial and then they are found innocent.
They go through the process. Look, if someone is being alleged to have committed financial crimes, put it out, let Nigerians see. But when you begin to try someone behind the scene, it now looks like there's a lot shredded in secrecy. Like I of it. Until we defeat corruption in Nigeria may never make progress. Look, the things we are suffering, the lack of infrastructure, poor education, poor healthcare, poverty, is as a result of corruption. Where one sits down and decides to loot what belongs to a whole community. So for me, I want to, commend Mr. Kolo for coming out to speak, because it takes a man.
But the person is accusing Otton to swear with the Holy Book that she never did anything of the sort, and they don't have any such agreement between themselves. Did you see the video? Because it's out there.
Yeah, I saw the video.
Yeah, she didn't. Nothing also happened.
I don't think Kolo himself would get to that extent of calling someone out without having said things to show that.
So evidence to show.
Of course.
Anyway, I don't vouch for anybody anyway, so I'm not here to cut for nobody, But to piggyback on what you said, he also stated that he doesn't have any ends. Because all he did were like cash transfers to her, not digital transfers. Like he said he gave cash. So when you give somebody cash, how do you...
The evidence, except you record it or take a picture.
So he's in a very dicey situation. He might be the only person really guilty or found guilty if this is going to be prosecuted, because there's still lots of reps committee at this point in time. But like you said, corruption, you talked about the EFCC, the last two EFCC chairmen, what happened to them? Yeah, they are being exactly, Yeah. So I'm really fighting corruption. I think we're not. Personally, that's my opinion, because when we look at two governors, including the former senator that were actually found guilty, what happened? The state's own Supreme Court overturned the judgment. Then the two governors, the president pardoned them. What does that tell? What does that tell political office holders that are going to enter office and steal money?
So if you serve time, and then after a while, before the tenure elapses, you change. You don't change. You become a new leaf. This is possible. Hold on, Salisu.
Was working and he was fighting corruption.
Hold on.
They found them guilty. They didn't stay for how many years, and he pardoned them.
But then some time.
Oh my days.
I'm just understanding. So it's possible for someone to change, because that's the aim of you spending time. You change, turn a new leaf, and then you come out a different person.
We have to look at message that this sends to
and what's that message?
What does this send to government officials? What does this send to me that want to?
What does it send to the common man as well?
Exactly. Like go in.
It means you can go in and do whatever, and then get out.
Behind bars for 1 or 2 years, and my guys want to rally around the president just like they were to do with the UK government. Trying to do it with the UK as well for Ecuador, but that did not work. That's a society that has laws that stands by their laws. You can come through corners. If you do the crime, you do the time.
Well, President Tinubu has promised to kill corruption, describing it as the main goal of his administration. One of the main goals, and he says compensation is a better approach, wherein when people are better compensated, they don't have reason to pilfer or take what does not belong to them.
I think it's able to fight corruption when you have men who have questionable character around you. So I would say it will be impossible for the president to fight corruption with the caliber people he has around him. Look at their records. I spoke about the NDC issue, or got off your mic. Look at the caliber of people we have. So how they intend to fight corruption?
So it's as though if you commit a crime, you can get away with it.
The former chairman of the ruling party said it. You cross over to our party, your sins are forgiven. So what message are you sending to those aspiring to, just like he said, those aspiring to go into it? It means you can go in there, do whatever you like, and get out, and not
be on the right side. You can get.
And that's not the country we want.
All right, we need to go on a break shortly, but I'll be back to take some messages. You can send your reactions to 080-993-0137. We're still live on YouTube and Facebook right now at Nigeria for Abuja. So you want to maybe thoughts on this before we go off the live, and you can always catch up with the live, the first 1 hour of the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel at Nigeria Info Abuja.
This is Nigeria Info.